The nation's foundation in the education sector, otherwise called the basic education subsector, has suffered neglect for several years. This long-time neglect accounted for the massive decay that has been experienced in the process of development. This unwholesome situation confronted the Jonathan administration in 2011 when it assumed the reins of governance at the conclusion of the nation's most nationally and internationally acclaimed general election. President Goodluck Jonathan put in place a progressive team at the Federal Ministry of Education under the leadership of Professor Rukayatu Ahmed Rufai and Chief Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike to reverse the ugly trend. With the organizational structure of the Federal Ministry of Education, Barrister Wike directly supervises the basic education subsector. This sector is the foundation upon which the superstructure of education in the country is built. The rot in the education sector is considered to be a function of the faulty education upon which the entire education framework has been built over the years.
We are not happy with what is going on. No child, no student can learn under that kind of environment. An environment that there are no chairs for the students, environment that look at the hostels where they are sleeping, exposed to all sort of danger. And then we'll say that such students will be able to do well and compete favorably. This unity school is supposed to be center of excellence. And from what we have seen, it will be difficult for us to really say that it will be a center of excellence with the kind of infrastructures we have seen. But we believe and we do know that with the promise made by the President, we'll do everything we can to improve on the standard of this school. The mere fact that somebody was there yesterday, the person did not do it does not mean that somebody will not do it today. The mere fact that some presidents have been here and nothing has happened does not mean that today the president will not do it. So let them watch and see what kind of actions that they will see in the next few months. So be rest assured that we are different from what used to be. That's why we're talking about transformation. If we are not ready, we wouldn't have used the word transformation. We know that something is wrong, and so we have to move to the next stage by changing what used to be. So let them be rest assured that we are not coming here to make promises. And like I've told them to do also have a role to play. You can see the environment is dirty. So what are the teachers doing?
Female students,
when there was this storm of January 2000,
all those who are concerned must explain why these projects are not going on. I mean, government is doing its best, and some people will sit somewhere and begin to sabotage the efforts of the government. We will not allow that. It is no longer going to be business as usual. Students are suffering, and then the parents are suffering, and then people are saying the government is not doing well, and why funds are being released, and then some people will sit on the funds to the detriment of the nation. We will not accept that. So be rest assured that it's an action, and must take an action on these projects. This is not going to be the period of going home and sleep and allow it done. It doesn't matter what anybody will say. That is my view. That's my position.
I've seen the laboratory has been renovated to the funds of Step B projects. That's quite commending. But what is important is that the school should embark on projects that are relevant to the performance of the students and concentrate on those things that will help to improve the standard of the school, not just embarking on projects because they just want to do projects.
You don't have problems. What are your problems? Who's the club captain here? Okay, what are your problems?
Not all the rooms that has lights.
Lights?
Yes, sir.
That's what, so when there, even in the daytime, won't you read when there's no light in the night?
Yes, sir. We are occupied.
Principal, you can see what's going on. This is SS2. That the next 1 year they will write WAEC. You can hear it from them directly now. They don't even know what their problems are. You can, this is SS2, not JSS1. This is what we're supposed to take class 5, you know. Ordinarily, they are supposed to be writing WAEC, if not the new system. So why would we do well? They don't know the problems they have. Do you have books in your library?
Yes.
Very good library.
Yes.
You have good teachers.
Yes.
Your laboratories are okay. So, are your teachers teaching you well?
Yes.
So, which means the problem is you. That means you don't want to read. Huh? So, why are you not doing well in WAEC? We have seen the result last time.
I want you to note the following policy directives. While resources made available to principals may not be sufficient, and of course is not sufficient, the Federal Ministry of Education will not tolerate the mismanagement of what has been provided. Probity, accountability, and efficient utilization of resources should be your guiding principles. On no account must any federal government college be found wanting in examination malpractice. Any principal whose college is involved in examination malpractice will be summarily disciplined by the ministry. Principals should take appropriate steps to disengage all unqualified teachers in their colleges, if any, who have failed to upgrade their qualification and competence. Promotion of teachers will partly be tied to a satisfactory performance evaluation of students' success rate in the subject taught by the teachers.
The Minister of State for Education has taken direct supervision of officials working with him at the ministry's headquarters, parastatals, agencies, and federal unity colleges as a responsibility not to be toyed with. In the last 7 months, there is no geopolitical zone that he has not visited to supervise projects and monitor the contributions of staff to the revival of basic education. Beyond all other inputs, this personal contribution by the minister has done the magic. He visits without notice the federal unity colleges. The very first schools that he visited caught the principals and staff unawares. However, the positive aspect of these unscheduled visits has been that principals have stepped up their preparedness, expecting that the minister may visit their school at any point.
I've gone to most of the schools. I discovered that some principals are committed, some are not committed, and we will not relent in all those who are not qualified to be principals to go back where they are from and send people who are qualified and committed to do the job. The problem we have in this part of our country is that everybody wants everything to be done on sentiment. Appointment of principals should not be on loyalty. Appointment of principals should not be on those who return things to the office. Appointment of principals should be on qualification. Those who know what administration of school is all about, managers of school.
His very first visit to a federal unity college was to Federal Government Boys College, Apo, in the Federal Capital Territory. Here, he witnessed the rot firsthand and the negative nature of budgeting that hampered quality infrastructural development in these schools. Since that first visit, Wike has visited 30 federal unity colleges spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the nation. In 2 of these visits, the Minister of State for Education inspected facilities with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Aminu Tambuwal, and the House Committee Chairman on Education, Honorable Farouk Lawan.
It is obvious that we need this school to be in proper position so that teaching and learning can take place. But it is apparent that the level of implementation of the budget or the level of the execution of the project leaves a lot to be desired. And for us in the National Assembly, we will go back with a renewed commitment to provide the necessary funds for this to become effective so that in the end, the success that are here would not continue to lie waste, and that the teeming number of students who should be here would have the opportunity to have an environment that is conducive for teaching and learning.
This is supposed to be the permanent site. We have seen the structures on ground. Like the Chairman of the Education Committee has just said, there's urgent need that more funds should be provided for this particular school so they can move from the temporary site down to the permanent site.
But again, the principal has to be directed to move the students there, because you can't wait for the entire structures to be put in place. There are certain structures that are already here that can be used while developing some other structures. But the important thing is that it's quite a very large area, and the development intends more funds. So the Chairman of the Education Committee has said that they will make sure that more funds are provided for the Education Ministry. We believe what he has said.
Kano is a big city and only 40 in a class, sir. And we cannot absorb all the children. Over 2,000 came for exam. Wow. And I'm to take only 580.
We're trying to see how we can upgrade it. Luckily, like I said, I go with the Chairman of the Education Committee, so that it is not only that the executive saw, let it also be that the National Assembly, they also saw what we are talking about. So he has come with me, he has seen the whole thing, and we're going to go back to put our heads together and see what we can do as to improving what is on ground.
We will sit down with the executive. We will work towards ensuring that more teachers are made available to this school. The infrastructural requirements, especially with regards to the hostels and the classrooms, would also need to be addressed. And this is particularly because this is a school that is sited in a very populous state like Kano. Given the large population of Kano, we need to ensure that the college has the capacity to enroll more students. And to do that, the facilities need to be upgraded and they need to be expanded. And I can assure you that together with the executive, the minister is here. He's very passionate about the improvement, especially in our unity schools. And we are going to sit down together through the 2012 budget and see what provision can be made so that FGC Kano becomes one of the centers of excellence in this country.
Realizing the need to revive the federal unity colleges to serve as models for quality secondary schools for states and private proprietors, Barrister Wike worked with the House of Representatives to seek for a fundamental shift in the budgeting process of the federal unity colleges.
All of us are aware that it used to be a center of excellence in this country. But it's very obvious that if you take a walk to the schools, you'll find out that it is no longer what it used to be. And Mr. President has come up with a transformation agenda to make sure that we have to bring back our schools the way it is to be.
We are ready to partner with the executive to ensure that all that needed to be done is done for us to have the best in this country. And on this note, I give you assurance that we'll give you all the support, we'll give you all the encouragement, and please, we commend you to continue with what you have been doing. You have started well, you are doing well, and I'm sure so many Nigerians have seen what you've been doing as a Minister of State. And I commend you for what you've been doing, and we assure you of our support.
The most fundamental achievement for these schools has been the introduction of a new budgeting system that has given rise to a phased rehabilitation. 12, the federal government will commence the phased rehabilitation of the federal unity colleges. Each of the 18 schools selected for this year will expend 250 million naira for the upgrade of laboratories, libraries, classrooms and assembly halls.
This workshop is therefore being organized to prepare, equip and empower the principals, bursars and secretaries of tenders board of the federal government colleges with the right attitude and aptitude necessary for advancing the efficient implementation of the 2012 capital budget of the unity colleges. It means that we cannot afford to waste any further time before taking the appropriate steps to kickstarting the execution of the development